Sirens, Slammers, and Service, a podcast for female first responders by female first responders. My name is Nikki Clucci, and I will be your host. As a former correctional officer in Alberta for almost 2 decades and the founder of Blue Line Fitness Testing, which provides law enforcement fitness testing and first responder wellness workshops, I started this podcast as a way for female first responders to share the trials, tribulations, and triumphs of their daily work. I want to showcase the unique perspectives, skill sets, and personalities that women bring to a first responder career and share their stories. So get ready to laugh your ass off, learn a whole bunch, and be inspired by some pretty badass women. Let's go. What's up, guys? Welcome back. We are back for episode 7, part 2, with Marissa Nemish from the Alberta Sheriffs Recruitment and Staffing Unit. In today's episode, Marissa is going to break down for us the recruiting process with the Alberta Sheriffs, when their postings go out, and how you can make yourself the best candidate possible for those postings. So, Marissa, let's get into it. I know a lot of the people that are listening, like I said, very interested in sheriffs. That's kind of, when they come to me and they're like, I need to run my pair. I'm trying to run it now, so I have it ready for when the sheriffs post. And I'm like, good idea. Don't wait until the last goddamn minute like everybody else does. And then call me in a fucking panic because Shipston has called and said, you can have this job if you have your pair. Where's your pair? And then they're not fit enough and they cannot pass, right? So yes, current role, Sergeant in Recruitment and Staffing. So you are running the process from the start to the end. Is that how that works now?
I am, and for the entire branch right now. So that is our Sheriff Highway Patrol, and I work with another lady, Kim, and she came from Fish and Wildlife, and she deals mostly with fish and wildlife recruiting. She knows what she's doing. She's an expertise. She's been doing that for 21 years now. So absolutely beautiful individual, knows her stuff, and super valuable to our branch. So recruiting has changed a lot from when the previous sergeant was in it. And now it's we do recruiting internally as well. So all recruitment goes through us, literally everything. If there is an expression of interest for transfers or an opportunity for courses or whatever it is, it goes through us. So quite busy in that sense. But yeah, so I have been in this now for just over a year. The last posting was last year. I came in halfway through it and then got to see the individuals graduate from the sheriff's class, which was amazing to see. This was my first class, the one that you just helped me out with immensely, start to finish. So they graduate in about a month and a half now. So they're about halfway through training, and I love reaching out to the training academy and seeing how everybody's doing. And I unfortunately no longer reside in Edmonton, so I can't really get to the training academy as much as I would like to, but I definitely keep in touch with some of the recruits and just see how they're doing. One of the pieces I found was we don't get a lot of female applicants. So I don't know if that is because we are perfectionists, and if we aren't 1,000 times ready, we're not going to apply. I'm not sure if it's self-doubt or just unsure about the job in general, but I would encourage any female, if you do have questions, to reach out to me. I am a part of AWIPS, which stands for Alberta Women in Public Safety. So I am on the board for that, doing the membership piece. We are currently trying to create a program of mentorship within that. So it's open to all women in public safety. Used to be called police service, but we have a lot of sectors, like public sectors, within our AWIPS community. So why eliminate it just to police? Like sheriffs aren't police officers, right? We're peace officers, yes. But we also opened it up to all peace officers, and we have sworn members and non-sworn members a part of it. So I take the mentorship piece quite seriously. I also quite enjoy speaking with other females and seeing their take on why they haven't applied or answering any questions. It's not just females, though, that I hone in on. Everyone, honestly, everyone. consistently my mailbox is full. I try to get to as many emails as I can. I monitor 3 emails, different accounts. So trying to deal and navigate like answering questions on recruiting and answering my phone as well. I need help, holy man. But yeah, so I definitely will try to answer as many questions as possible. If people do have anything that they have questions on about recruiting. We do have minimum recruitment standards. Now, I don't know if we'll be changing those or not, but if you go on to the Alberta website, you will be able to see what those minimum recruitment standards are. So just kind of have a read over and see if you fit the criteria of what our recruitment standards are currently. Everyone gets hired into law court sheriffs. So I understand like there's tons on our website, alberta.ca/sheriffs/career, I think is what it is.
I'll put it in the show notes. We'll put the link in the show notes. If anybody is looking for it, you'll be able to put it in there. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. And then the email address is on there as well. So alberta.sheriffs@gov.ab.ca. So if anyone is interested in reaching out, please do. Making sure that, you set yourself up to stand out more than others is a big one. So we currently require education and related experience. Hopefully we can change some of those aspects to kind of broaden our horizons and get to individuals that maybe couldn't go to school, right? But have customer service background and they're great at talking. And, they can communicate with people. So why wouldn't you want them as law enforcement, right? So some changes hopefully can happen within our unit, but right now it is set the way it is. So
a person's going to apply, say there's a posting that opens, person goes in, says, okay, I want to be a sheriff. They're going to apply online, upload all of their documents, probably very similar: driver's abstract, first aid, your pair test, which you can come and see me to run. Yay. And I will help you train for it. And as a side note, if I don't even know if Marissa has a posting coming out or not. I'm assuming you will, because I was like, they usually do a fall and a spring. Sheriffs is usually fall and spring. So I don't know, because there's been funding cuts and there's been issues like that through the government and hiring freezes and things like that beyond our control. But I would highly recommend, because I can speak to why you don't get as many female applicants, because I see it at the front end, is that they can't pass the physical. So for those of them that are being proactive and are not waiting until you've already given them the job offer to get their pair, they're coming in and they're vastly underestimating the fitness requirements. And we did an episode with Calgary Police and G. Tetley, and it was the same issue that she was seeing with them as well. That's something you can train for. So if this is something that you're interested in right now, August is the time to be starting to train for it. August and September. So that when the posting comes out, you are ready to go and you are not waiting and then not applying, because now you're coming to run your pair in October and going, oh, fuck, I'm not anywhere close. So therefore I'm not going to apply, right? That is something you can fix. So you get your pair, you get your driver's abstract, you get it all together, you put it in. The next stage is what? You're getting called for an interview. Is there a background check? Like how's that process work?
Yeah, so the other thing I'm going to hone in on, because it wasn't just the pair, it's your class 4. So with the Alberta Sheriffs, you need your class 4 driver's license. So that's to transport over 15 passengers. So you do need that. You need to get a medical for that as well. So a lot of people, especially because it was backlogged from COVID, a lot of people were struggling to get their class 4. So that's another piece that people don't have on hand. And a valid first aid and CPR is also important that you have, that is current and not expired. Put it all in. And then from there, it goes on to the system. And then manually, I go through all of these names and then I read their resumes. And then it's a whole matrix that we have to follow, and then go scan, screen, and then implement their names, education, documents, all on a spreadsheet. And then from there, score it based off of the matrix. So education, experience, all of that.
Gotcha. So then obviously the matrix is preset. So what is scoring higher? Like what levels of education or experience is scoring higher? Are you able to, you might not even be able to divulge that, but if somebody was looking, like I have a diploma versus a degree, I'm assuming a degree is going to score higher. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
and
it goes
then,
based off of number of years as well. So, with that being said, it truly depends on the applicant pool as well, right?
mhm,
So it's set in stone. That is the way that the matrix works of how you score individuals. So, unfortunately, I can't divulge what
mhm.
exactly and how it works, but that is how it works for the most part, like the scoring piece of education and experience.
Okay. And then, so then you're going into an interview for contacting for an interview. Obviously, interview practice is very similar. Again, if you're looking for help, I do interview prep with Blue Line, so I can walk you through how to really take your experience that may not be necessarily, like you're saying, related to law enforcement if you're not working in security and stuff like that, but you do have customer service experience or you do
Yeah.
have that conflict resolution experience. Again, highly important that you have that versus having security experience. For me, again, when I did hiring, I was like, those are the people I want. I want the people that can talk to somebody and talk them down out of something. That's more important to me than you're a black belt in whatever jujitsu. I don't give a shit, because if you get to the point where you have to use your black belt in jujitsu, you didn't do the things before that you should have done, right? So
Communicating.
yeah, talking using your mouth to pass on knowledge and wisdom. Yes, exactly. So then we go to interview. After interview, we're doing a background check. We have psych results as well with the sheriffs, which is
Yep.
different than corrections. So how does
Yep.
that work?
Yeah, so after interview, it goes based off scores of your interview as well. So we will then do reference checks. And then once reference checks are done and you pass, then we would send you off to psychological testing. That's done through a third party. So if it doesn't matter where you live, where you apply, we'll set something up for that. So it is only across Canada that we do have the psychological testing across there. Like we don't have anything in the US or anywhere else in the world. So you would have to deal with it coming into Canada to get your psych testing done. That would be at the cost of your own, not ours. Over the last few years, we did do it over video, which I mean, everybody can attest to. You literally can work from anywhere nowadays and
Mm-hmm.
do video. I find it super, it's not personable. It is not personable at all. So we will be going back to in-person interviews for sure.
Awesome.
But
Yeah.
once you pass your psychological testing, then it goes based off of location that you selected and your scoring again from your interview of if you are offered a position or not.
Okay, that's good. So then the other question I have, especially now kind of hearing that you guys are doing all the recruiting and all the postings, even for internal, because everybody
Mm.
comes to me and they want to be a highway sheriff. That's what because
Oh
they see
yeah,
it, right?
drive
Like they're
fast.
like, I'm leaving corrections because I'm going to go be a highway sheriff. And I'm like, well, get used to being a taxi driver for inmates and taking them back and forth to the jail that you just left, because that's where you will start. so, so within the sheriff's branch, lots of different opportunities to kind of
Yes,
move, right?
tons.
So coming in, always starting as a law court sheriff, you have to learn the
Yep.
basics of basically client management, inmate management, security, like plant security, things like that. From law court sheriffs, like what are some of the opportunities that people could kind of jump into? I mean, you've talked
Yeah.
about two of them, which I thought was super cool, the out of province transfers and your intel
Yeah.
unit. Very cool. What else
Yeah.
is there?
So Sheriff Highway Patrol, and we, as you know, hopefully people know because they've done their research. So the Sheriff's Branch has amalgamated with Fish and Wildlife and Commercial Vehicle. So now Sheriff Highway Patrol is commercial vehicle and Sheriff Highway Patrol, like pulling individuals over. So it's not just the piece of keeping the roads safe in the sense of pulling individuals over, it's also at the weight scale. So they are one now. So people need to understand, yeah, I want to go and I want to be traffic. Like, you need to understand that there is a twofold of that now. Like, it's not just being in the car and going out on the road. You are also crawling under trucks and making sure that the road's safe in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. There's the legislation ground. There's our McDougall Center in Calgary. And then we also have within the courts itself, there's different areas you can work, like in our cell block or on the road. But we also have Scan. And literally, if you look up our website, you will see every area that you could apply to. We do have a lot of areas that individuals could go to should they wish to. Yeah, like honestly, if you want something, apply for it, work hard.
The majority of
Go
those
ahead.
positions are all frontline, right? Like it's not like I'm assuming same within corrections. If there's certain spots where you need to be a sergeant, so you need to it needs to be a promotion.
Yeah.
But a lot of those would be lateral transfers. So you're like, I've done my time at law courts. I really want to go to out of province escorts. Okay, so you can apply for that lateral transfer secondment in or whatever, right?
Yeah, so it's called an operational opportunity, and individuals will apply and then they will do an interview again. Everything is based off interviews and performance. So, absolutely, everybody can apply to any position. If they like it, they stay. If they don't, they can always come back to the courthouse.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You can always come back to your roots. That's good. Okay, I love it. So I want to jump in because again, I'm cognizant of time. I want to jump into a couple of questions I have for you. So
Yeah.
what has been, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, I think, when we were talking earlier, what's been the biggest kind of setback in the last year, and how do you think that's pivoted or changed what you've done or how you've reacted?
I would honestly, yeah, call it a setback. I applied to the training academy to become an instructor there. Mostly because I am passionate about helping and training. So I did want to, that was my goal, being there, being an instructor. When I was not successful with that position, I had to really think. Like, I took a step back and thought to myself, what can I do? Like, what can I do to give more to this branch? Then the recruiting position came open. I applied to it, and I honestly could not be happier where I am. Like, I love interacting with individuals. I still get to teach EVOC to new recruits, so that's amazing. I enjoy the piece where I'm going to make a change within this branch, and I hope that it's a long-lasting impact. So I definitely think the setback also became a plus. I work closely with the training academy, so it's nice. We have a good relationship. They are there. They do all the training for corrections, community peace officers, sheriff's branch, Fish and Wildlife also has a class in right now. So they hold a lot of training there. So it's nice to be able to have that open communication with the individuals that are working there. So I quite enjoy that piece. That, I mean, it happened, and I am where I am now. So
yeah. Well, and I said, and cliche of the one door closes, another one opens, right? Like
and you're always like, why?
Yes. Well, and you know what, because I like, is again, you're at that 7 years. So we've talked about this in a couple of other episodes of like the ebb and flow of your career, right? So like first 2 years, amazing, love it, amazing, this is the best thing in the world. Okay, and then you hit that kind of like, well, this is shitty, and like, oh, I'm sick of scrapping with mental health patients at the hospital, but like, oh, I still love my job because I work with a really great partner. I'm sick and tired of scrapping with mental health people, right? Like, so at 7 years.
Yeah, I was the 7-year itch at the hospital. I was like, I got to do something else.
Right? Exactly.
But now I'm at 7 years and I'm like, I'm doing exactly what I want and I am passionate about. So here I am of doing it.
Yes. Well, and the thing that just kind of lights me on fire is to hear you say, like, I'm going to make a difference in this branch. Like, I'm going to leave a lasting impact and I'm going to make a difference, because I think that it's very easy in these careers to get beat down and to have that kind of spark and that fire beat out of you by repetitive just even daily shit where you're just like the details of the daily shit, monitoring 3 email addresses, like 1,000 emails every day, like that shit can wear you down. It can start to grind on you, and you can start to, get you to the point where you're just like, you've lost that fire, right? But to hear you say that, like, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to make it, I'm going to, make an impact in this. I love that.
Absolutely.
Because yeah, that's right. And I mean, if not by sheer will, right, then by sheer just bullheadedness, like
personality.
I will. Yes, personality. My personality is gonna make a change. Great. Okay. And then so let's ask another one. So what's the biggest challenge that you have within your specific role right now, and how are you overcoming that?
Yeah, as many of you know, government restrictions and funding. So it makes it hard to continuously recruit when we do not currently have the funding to recruit. So I find it challenging in that sense. You get all these messages and people that are super eager and passionate about wanting to join our branch, and then I can't tell them we have a posting open. I find that challenging. And then our minimum recruitment standards, because I don't feel like it targets a diverse group.
Yeah.
So, you don't have your education, or, you don't have the related experience because you were a welder and you decided to go make money instead of going to be security somewhere
Police
or
studies at Grand
whichever.
McEwen. Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? There's so many areas that we can look at to hire outside of and get that diversity within our branch. And I mean, coming with different education and experience is huge. So
yeah, that diversity is huge, to have that different skill sets, different life experiences, different ages. Again, I'll kind of reference Angie Tetley's interview, where they're actually finding with CPS that the majority of their successful applicants are actually in their late 30s, early 40s, because they're coming into this as a second career. They're coming into this as, something they've always wanted to do, but they had to do something else first. They had to raise kids first, or they had to make money first, or they had to,
absolutely.
and she's saying, like, but these are the people we want. They're mature, they have life experience, they have learned how to communicate appropriately with somebody. Not to say that our 20-year-olds, 21, 22-year-olds who are coming in full of piss and vinegar and are just like, this is the greatest thing ever, like that they're not a strong applicant. They are, but that life experience and that just knowledge of, like, sometimes shit gets hard and you're either buckling up or you're bailing out. And so which one are you going to choose, right? Sometimes that's more important when you're looking for these law enforcement careers.
Yeah. And I don't judge people at their age. I definitely don't, because I mean, when I joined, I had a lot of life experience at that point with my upbringing. So I don't know anybody's story. I don't ask people their story. It's yours to keep. But I am cognizant, like everybody of any age probably went through something and are where they are because of how hard they worked. So I definitely try to be open-minded on that sense.
For those of you that are interested in the sheriffs, again, I will put Marissa's information in the show notes. We'll put it in the website so you guys can check it all out. You can always reach out to me as well. I can help you connect with Marissa or find the information you need. But thank you again for your time, your energy, I love your, like I said, the energy, the little Chihuahua energy is just radiating through the screen at me. I love it.
Okay, take care. Thank you for having me.
Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for listening, tuning in, and sharing your time and energy with us. Make sure you check out our next episode starring another badass female first responder on Apple, Spotify, or TuneIn. And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Blue Line Fitness Testing. Stay safe and keep your head on a swivel.